So Mr. Jeremy Bjornberg will be our next speaker. And continuing the trend, this is Jeremy's second speech from the Confident Communicator Manual, Organize Your Speech. Jeremy is a manufacturer's representative for a dental equipment company, and this is the busiest time of year for him. He is looking forward to speaking about something other than dental equipment this morning. Fellow Toastmasters, I present to you Jeremy and his speech, Coincidence? I think not.
How often do you guys find yourself thinking about coincidences? You maybe think to yourself, what are the odds of that happening? Or maybe you run into somebody at the grocery store that you haven't seen in a long time. You don't think anything of it. You're thinking about a friend you haven't seen in a long time, and the phone rings and it's that person. It seems like it happens all the time, and these things are easily passed on as happenstance or coincidence. Today I'm going to share a story with you about something that happened to me several years ago that changed the way I view coincidences and the way I view chance, timing, luck, whatever you want to call it. 20 years ago, I was just getting out of college. I had been out of college a couple of years. So finally, I had enough money to take a real vacation. When I mean a real vacation, I could afford a plane trip. I wasn't going to drive somewhere. Several of my buddies had moved out to Colorado. Me being an outdoorsman, I thought that was the best thing I wanted to do for a vacation. So I contacted all my buddies and basically was dictating to them what I wanted to do. I called them, I said, hey, I want to come out, I want to visit you guys, I want to bike, I want to hike, I want to camp, I want to rock climb, fish, whatever you guys can throw at me in the week I'm out there, I'm up for. So anyways, I show up out there, they pick me up at the airport. First thing we do is we head to REI. We get all of our rock climbing gear and we head out towards Crested Butte, Colorado, which is where another one of my good friends lives. And we chose to camp north of Crested Butte in I guess it's near an old mining town. So it was in the middle of nowhere. So we get out there, we drive down this long, winding dirt road. It wasn't it was a dirt road, an old mining road. It's beautiful out there. I'm taking in all the scenery and the fresh air and just enjoying everything. We set up for camp and we hang out, I don't know, all night and drinking beer and telling stories and telling jokes and just having a great time. Well, we all go to bed that night and I wake up the next day early because I'm an early riser, always have been, and I knew none of my buddies would be up for a while. So I didn't want to sit around and do nothing. So I decided, you know what, this place is gorgeous, I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to go walk around and see what's out here. So I start walking down this road that we came in on. I'm probably walking 30 minutes and I look to my side and I see like this German Shepherd mutt. I would say it's a cross between like a German Shepherd and a Lab. It didn't move, it didn't bark, it didn't stand up, didn't do anything. So I grew up around dogs. It didn't really bother me, didn't scare me. Wasn't even thinking about coming across dogs in the mountains. So I kept on walking. And I'd say probably 10 minutes later, I hear some animals, if you will, coming up on me. And I turn around. Not only is that German Shepherd there, but there's a Rottweiler, and there's 3 other mutts, I would call them. I couldn't really distinguish what they were, but they appeared all to be strays. They're coming at me. They're starting to trot, but they're not charging me, they're not biting, or they're not biting, growling, or anything. As they got closer to me, then they got vicious. And when I mean vicious, a life flashes before you. And I'm yelling to my buddies, but I'm way too far for them to hear me. And I'm telling you, I was obviously never been more scared in my life. So I'm trying to do anything. I'm shooing them off. I grew up with dogs, just yelling, talking to them sternly. Nothing was working. They were getting closer, and as they were getting closer, the Rottweiler starts working its way around to the back of me and gets up on its hind legs and starts pushing on my back and biting me at the same time and trying to knock me down into the other dogs. I'm absolute, everything's, I think I'm dead. I think I'm either dead or I'm going to be severely injured, walking around with dog bites on my face and neck and everything for the rest of my life if I make it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. And on this road that we came in on, again, we hadn't seen anybody prior to that or after that. And out of the blue, this old little pickup shows up, and I see it, and I start waving my hands, and the thing gets closer. I didn't even let it slow down. I jumped in the back of the pickup, and the guys were, later would find out they're 2 guys from Oklahoma. They opened their little window in the back, and calm as can be, what's going on? I'm like, what do you mean what's going on? I just about got eaten by those dogs. And they're like, oh, we thought you were playing with them. I'm like, no, I wasn't playing with them. I'm like, are you kidding me? Can you give me a ride back to my camp? So they do. I jump out of the truck. At this point, all of my buddies were up and come telling the story. Of course, they don't believe it. It's kind of hard story to believe. I take off my jacket and I pull up my shirt, and they could see all the bite marks on my back. And that, there was no blood, but there was definitely purple marks. And so, needless to say, it was a terrifying experience. Ever since that day, I've never thought of coincidences the same way. There's no way that truck showed up at the right place at the right time to take care of me. So that's why coincidences, I think not.